Erik Ten Hag may look like the most unemotional head coach ever, but this hasn't kept him clear of controversy. The Jadon Sancho spot is the latest example, but you've probably heard enough about it. In this video, we examine 4 major conflicts with other footballers the Man United head coach had before. Noah Lang might not have a talent as big as Sancho, but he was and remains a gifted footballer. But one thing Lang shares with Sancho is the dislike for Ten Hag, which spilled over into a nasty game episode. In a match for Ajax, Lang was slacking off by not tracking back, which didn't please Ten Hag, who was yelling at the youngster. Shortly afterwards, Noah Lang went on a series of loans, and as we will see later, getting the player out of the team is Ten Hag's preferred method of dealing with indiscipline. Apparently, Lang wasn't pleased with his game time, as he revealed in 2021. The coach said, "I would play an important role, but I'm glad I decided not to blindly sign the new contract. Everybody loved me at Ajax except for one person. I never spoke to him again, and I don't want to." Noah Lang eventually quit the club, had a very prolific spell at Club Brugge, although not without controversy, as he once called his teammates fucking pussies. He eventually joined Ajax's arch-rivals PSV for the club bracket fee of 15 million euros. Things could have been worse, as we will see with the next example. Erik Ten Hag's time at Ajax was a huge success, as he guided the team to a Champions League semi-final and a raft of domestic trophies. You can't do it with a squad of grumpy potatoes. But one more player had an issue with Ten Hag. Perhaps offended at being called on so late in the game, Germany international Amin Younes refused to come off the bench in a league clash in 2018. The moment was caught on camera. The player shakes his head in refusal, and Ten Hag shrugs his shoulders. It was the last time Younes was in the squad for Ajax, and he was relegated to training with the youth team. "We still have 6 games to play, and I only want players who are 100% motivated," explained Ten Hag. After brief stints at Napoli, Eintracht Frankfurt, Al Ittihad and Utrecht, Younes is unemployed at the age of 30. Maybe he should have come on the pitch in that game. One footballer did manage to last the entire season at a club despite being called rubbish by Ten Hag. Zidane Iqbal was once considered a talented young midfielder at Man United, but he's best remembered for Ten Hag's outburst against his skills. During a passing drill, the head coach was very upset with the young player for failing to keep the ball on the grass. Ten Hag's verdict? Fucking rubbish, as he called it. Iqbal stayed on for the last season, making the bench 17 times, but not being given even a minute on the pitch by Ten Hag. He was eventually sold to the Netherlands, where he hopes to carve out a career for himself, and why not look up to another protagonist of this video, Noah Lang, as an inspiration. I don't have respect for Erik Ten Hag because he doesn't show respect for me. These aren't the words you often hear a footballer say about Man United's head coach, but that's what Cristiano Ronaldo, no ordinary footballer himself, said about Ten Hag in November 2022. For the first time in his career, Ronaldo found himself on the bench on a regular basis. Even worse, he was a starter in Europa League games on Thursday nights in Cyprus and Moldova. The conflict between the player and the coach was brewing behind the scenes for a while. First, Ronaldo refused to turn up for pre-season as he was desperate to join a club playing in the Champions League. But not even Eintracht Frankfurt were ready to pick the Portuguese up. He eventually made his comeback, but if Ten Hag and Cristiano Ronaldo could be called a marriage, the wedding meal must have been 2 bottles of vodka and a loaf of bread. Ronaldo kept throwing tantrums, leaving the stadium early in a friendly, refusing to thank the traveling United fans, storming down the tunnel, and sulking on the bench. It is hard to accuse Ten Hag of not giving Cristiano his chance, but the Portuguese kept firing blanks in the Premier League and ended up scoring just twice in the Europa League against the Moldovan giants FC Sheriff. The explosive interview to Piers Morgan precipitated the inevitable, although it was still a damn loud thunder on a cloudy day. To this day, Morgan remains Ronaldo's #1 ally in the media, calling Ten Hag out on every occasion and bigging the Portuguese up. Sometimes you have to wonder if he's actually trolling or not. Like, for example, when he claimed it was Ronaldo who scored that World Cup goal for Portugal because he touched the ball with 2 hairs. And every Man United defeat is a tweet from Morgan, works like a clock. And if Piers Morgan is the captain, Ronaldo's family are vice-captains. One of his sisters compared Ten Hag's treatment of Ronaldo with the crucifixion of Jesus, while the mother was more blunt, telling Ten Hag to fuck off. What was so bad about Ten Hag's treatment of Ronaldo? Who knows? The head coach kept giving minutes to his hot-tempered footballer, and perhaps his only crime is not treating Cristiano Ronaldo like everybody else. One player who didn't have an issue with Ten Hag's management is Marcus Rashford. When United's number 10 was late for training just for a few seconds, it was enough to land him on the bench for the following game. But unlike Ronaldo and Sancho, Rashford took it on the chin and increased the demands from himself. He also came on in the second half in that game and scored the only goal. The boss and his player shared a hug at full-time. Rashford was said to be so impressed with Ten Hag's management style it was a key factor in him signing a new Man United deal. Another talented young player at Man United who enjoys Ten Hag's treatment is Alejandro Garnacho. Erik Ten Hag is a very good manager and, above all, he's a great person, admitted Garnacho, who eventually signed a new contract. What do you think of Ten Hag's style of man management? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed the analysis, like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss the next episode. Don't forget to check other videos. See you there.